What's good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, man. My name is DivaTequila. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I've been on my XDefiant grind lately. Really enjoying it, man. I want to go ahead and put out a little video real quick showing what my favorite AR and my favorite SMG is. You can see on the screen the ACR and the MP7 I have highlighted. Those have been the two that I've really enjoyed using the most. They feel extremely consistent. They have very fast TTKs, forgivable accuracy, which being a mouse and keyboard player is a very high priority for me. And we played really well with them. I've got a little screenshot here real quick. You can see we ran up a streak pretty heavily, and these are the main two weapons that I was using. These were the two weapons I was using, depending on the map. We actually hit a 21 win streak before we lost. So, yeah, man, big streaking with these guns. Without wasting any more time, because I do tend to ramble, we'll get right into it. Here's the ACR. You can see I did get it bronze this weekend. Feels pretty good. I've played around with a bunch of different options. These are what work for me. I will go ahead and preface that by saying almost any option feels reliable in this game. I think they've done a good job of balancing not only the weapons but the attachments as well, so you can really try to tweak it towards your play style and your individual accuracy and recoil control. We went with the chrome lined barrel. The chrome lined barrel is really good because it increases the short range and medium range damage. Makes it a little bit less mobile, but not a big deal on your AR. The vertical grip makes it to where the vertical recoil control is a lot easier. You really don't have to worry about pulling down on the mouse for me, but the thumbstick at all. The reflex gives a really nice sight picture. I will say the holographic for me is also very well. I really should be playing with my glasses, but since I don't play with my glasses, sometimes I lose the red dot on the reflex, whereas the holo gives a really clear sight picture and a much more visible reticle. So if you're like me, you're getting a little bit older, you ain't got your glasses, throw the holo on instead. The quick mag, in my opinion, is the best magazine option by far. You get an increased magazine size of 5 plus 15% reload speed. Gives you longer sustained damage, getting back into the fight quicker. So this one just dramatically increases the overall TTK over the course of a match. And then we go with the quick draw grip as well. Increases sprint to shoot time and ADS speed both by 10%, so really good for the mobility there, which helps to counteract the mobility that you lost with the chrome lined barrel. So this is the build that I go on my ACR. It's done very well for me so far. My pistol I go back and forth on. You can do what you want. I like the Renetti. I also like the Deagle as well. I use the flash bangs, I use the frags, then sometimes I'll use the EMP if we're facing a team that has like 3 or 4 stack with shields. So then the MP7 is obviously your run and gun build. Really enjoying the MP7 at the moment. Feels very clean for me. I also go with the chrome lined barrel here just because I think gaining 20% to short and medium range damage is pretty fucking massive. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure exactly if it's exactly a 20% buff, but here it does increase pretty dramatically. So I like it. I've tried it without using it. I actually have tried using just a muzzle booster as well, but I think again, being a mouse and keyboard player, the muzzle booster is not as forgiving for me because having 10% worse horizontal recoil control is really the hard one for me to manage. Trying to track opponents that are bunny hopping while I'm bunny hopping, we're slide jumping, all that stuff gets a lot harder to manage, whereas the chrome line is just a little bit slower. Maybe not ideal for an SMG, but I don't mind it at all. I go with the tactical grip because that plus 35% recoil recovery is actually pretty fucking massive. You're not really losing too much mobility because I'm not usually ADS walking too much. It's not that big of a deal to me, but I am gaining ADS speed, so it kind of like negates itself on the mobility gains and loss. But that 35% recoil recovery is actually really nice. We go with the quick mag again because, again, there's no cons to it. Huge pros in terms of keeping you in the fight and getting you back in the fight faster. The quick draw grip is huge, especially on an SMG. I would say, for the ACR, if you want to swap out the quick draw for the heavy grip, that's probably your next best option. But the quick draw grip is huge because that plus 10% sprint to shoot time is going to be massive, especially against those sweatier opponents where you're all just slide jumping, trying to get boogie on each other. Quick draw grip is huge. I have the padded stock at the moment just because there's no negatives to it. Again, plus 15% recoil recovery. I really don't have to worry about recoil control on the MP7 at all. And if I get somebody close range to me, it's usually a kill. If I get the first shot on them, it's usually a kill. It's also adding ADS stability and ADS flinch control. So this padded stock is actually massive. If you're on controller, you can arguably go with the removed stock just because it gives a plus 20% sprint to shoot time, but it does make it to where the ADS flinch control and both recoil controls are a bit harder. On mouse and keyboard, that is a massive trade-off. Very hard to deal with that on mouse and keyboard, I'm not going to lie. Some people are going to be cracked and they do aim trainers all the time. Good for you. I don't, so I'm not dealing with that. Collapse stock isn't bad either if you're not planning on hip firing too much. The min spread, max spread is really just targeted at hip fire, so plus 5% movement speed's nice, but I like the padded stock. So there is my MP7 build. Like I said, we ran up a 21 kill streak with 21 win streak, primarily just using the ACR and the MP7. So those are my two favorite weapons. Those are the two that I've put the most time into, but I've also tried out pretty much every other gun in the game at this point. I think I've got close to like 40 or 50 hours of playtime, like top 10% on kills currently. So really grinding the game out, really enjoying it. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it. It's free. Hop on the wave while it's still hype. As a quick little bonus real quick, I do want to talk about my favorite factions just because why not? I've primarily spent my time playing on Phantoms. Phantoms is the one that allows you to throw your mag barrier out. Blitz Shield is cheeky. It's pretty good on Escort. That's about it. I'm currently trying to get my Blitz Shield kills just to unlock the last operator or whatever in Phantoms, but the mag barrier is extremely good for zoning. You can play aggressively with it, oh my goodness, or defensively. Pretty huge. The ultimate is very good for zoning, very good for securing final objective pushes and such, and also the fact that you get 125 health as compared to everybody else having 100 is massive. My next most played faction, I believe, is Libertad. The healing is pretty dope, especially if I'm playing solo. This is primarily the one that I play just because I can run around. I can pop my Bio Vita boost, and it allows me to chain kills together more effectively because it's consistently healing me while I'm fighting. Obviously, your passive as well continuously heals you and teammates. So those are the two main ones that I've played. I will give a special little shout out to Echelon at the moment. If you're running the Intel suit and you're playing on a full team, it's beautiful because everybody knows exactly where everybody's at on the enemy team, and you can just hunt them all down and fry them out. If you're playing on 4s and you have one intel suit, it's huge. If you're playing on 6s and you have 2 intel suits, you essentially have entire map control. So pretty dope there. I will say I haven't spent too much time playing on cleaners or DedSec, so more to follow on that. But yeah, my favorite faction is Phantoms. My favorite AR is the ACR. My favorite SMG is the MP7. We've been running up streaks pretty heavily. You can see my stats are pretty good, you know what I mean? A 1.2 KD on mouse and keyboard running against all y'all little young controller kids is very good in my opinion. A 3.1 win to loss ratio is my big flex at the moment, so definitely enjoying that. Like I said, man, if you haven't checked out the game yet, I highly recommend you do so. I'm really hoping that the hype sticks around on this game. I'm really loving it. Quick scoping is actually viable in this game. I love quick scoping. I just put out a little sniping montage yesterday. I'm finding the game to be very enjoyable. The more I play it, the more rewarding it's becoming because the more fluid the movement is getting, the better my tracking is becoming as well. So if you haven't checked it out, man, I highly recommend you do so. Try out these loadouts. Let me know what you think. If you have some different preferences or something, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm obviously open to conversation and suggestions. But if you stuck around this long, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day, man. Stay safe. Peace.